Hi, this is Christoph, your love life coach, and I'm here to talk about something pretty disturbing today that really does take away the joy for life and the loving life experience. So this is intended to help you if you are dealing with an alcoholic in your life who is destroying your chance for happiness. Or even if you find that your own drinking at times disturbs you and you want to know what's the deal, why is it such a big deal? I am going to talk in an esoteric manner in this video, and I hope that'll be something you can hear. If you're not open to esoteric types of thinking, you might want to skip this video. But basically, there's a real problem with drinking because, well, problem number one, the reason people drink is a big deal. If you're in Italy or France or someplace where life is wonderful and luscious and you're drinking, it's a total different effect, a different reason to be drinking, and I don't think that there is as much of a problem with it. If you are drinking because life is already wonderful and you're just making it better in the middle of the day even, it's likely that it's not going to have a lot of its negative effects. But if you're in a life full of stress and not enough feminine energy and not enough sensuality, it's very likely that your drinking is in order to get a rest. It is in order to escape and experience a side of yourself that you otherwise never get to let out. So your laughter, your joy, your playfulness, you think, oh, I'm going to drink and I'll get to be that person that I otherwise can never be. And the intention is to escape. And so what happens is the person drinks and leaves their body at a certain level. And this leaves an energetic hole, and negative spirits can come in to your body at the point where you exit. So that's the reason why, maybe that's the reason why they call them spirits. You're drinking spirits. You literally are inviting spirits when you drink in this manner, which is about forgetfulness. Rather than drinking to be more present and more luscious and more close to your family, you're drinking to get a break from everybody and everything. Now, well, there's people in my town I've seen who have one person who's just this amazing man. He's so inspiring and he's so warm and wise in the daytime when he's working, but when he drinks, he becomes a different person, and he's absolutely destroying his family's trust. And he's violent. He beats his wife and he beats his children, and this is only when he's drinking. And he has very little memory of it, and he justifies it when he's drinking, and he justifies it afterwards because, think about it, it's not actually him. He would never do such a thing. It is a spirit that comes through his body when he exits. This is his case. I don't know. It's my belief about his case. So that's why he has no identification with it. When people tell him what he did, or his wife tries to talk about it in the day, he's like, what are you talking about? I would never do something like that. Whatever I do has good intentions, because the truth is he does have good intentions. He is not that entity that he's allowing in. So how do you how do you deal with this? I mean, unless a person goes cold turkey and really stops, you're in a quandary, because they are just going to be in, this spirit could be an evil spirit, and it's endangering you and your children. Now there's other situations I've seen. I have a healing practice, and one person came to me because he was being sabotaged by it seemed to be like a poltergeist or an ancestor or something. What was happening is he had so many talents. He was a gifted musician and a very, very accomplished carpenter. But you would see him like get a new car, and then he gets the keys out, and he's telling you about his new car, and suddenly he's fumbling, and the keys are dropping, and they go through a grate in this sewer system. He's like, doing a job. He's so psyched, it's going so fast because he's so good at his work, and he loses the hammer. And then suddenly he's got to go buy a hammer because he's been looking for the hammer for an hour, and on the way he gets stopped by a cop and he loses the job because he can't finish it in time. On and on. He was no matter how good his intentions were, no matter how hard he tried, he could not get free of being sabotaged by some energetic disturbance. And when I looked into it, it really did look like an ancestor who wanted libations. Now, if you come from a history where, say, you are African American and your ancestors believe in ancestors and believe in giving offerings to ancestors, you might have a much deeper connection with the need to give offerings than somebody who doesn't have that in their tradition. But basically, he was also having a terrible time with alcoholism, and this alcoholism was a huge factor in destroying his life, and he had lost his wife and his job, and he couldn't progress with his music, and he was one of the best musicians I've ever heard. So basically, when he completed his treatment, a lot of what was necessary was just to get that spirit satisfied for a while in order to get it out of his sphere. And his homework was to actually, every time he had a craving for alcohol, to pour the libations that the spirit wanted on the ground for the spirit instead of drinking, because the spirit was trying to get its alcohol through him, its offering, its libation through his body. So he found that if he did this, he poured out libations, his craving went way down or away. And when we were able to really get that spirit to move on into its own sphere and its own health, his life came, oh my goodness, he got a job with his music, actually. Several jobs. He got jobs teaching. He got jobs with some of the most accomplished musicians in the world, asked him to write songs for them, and he got his wife back. He got his family back, and this is all connected to this situation about alcohol and how it's connected to spirits. So it's very dangerous in our society. I don't know if it's dangerous at all in like I said, in Italy and places where it's part of the culture and it's a positive thing. But we just don't have enough feminine energy in our society. We don't have enough fun, enough sex, enough time off, enough vacations, enough money to just relax. So we turn to substitutes, and that's always a disaster. There is no substitute for the goddess. There's no substitute for the feminine. You need her. We all need her, and we need to start calling her back. We need to tell our politicians, tell our families, tell our bosses that we need the feminine. We need rest. We need time off. We need fun. We need play. And then we won't need to drink in that manner. So if you find yourself at times just a little tipsy, you find when you're drinking, most of your fights happen from a little glass of wine. It was very innocent, but you notice bad energy keeps coming in. Be aware of other spiritual energy that could be coming through you at that time, and be more conscious about your drinking. Either stop and just give yourself a break and give yourself more of the feminine juiciness that you need in your life. Give yourself what you really want. Okay, what you really need. Or just be focused that when you're going to take that glass of wine, it is to enjoy the moment with all your heart, to be in your heart, to be in your body, to be in your love. Love life. Love life more. Alright, so if you got anything from this that's helpful for you or another, please pass it on. Like my channel, subscribe, and share my work, and please get my album. My music will send you a lot of feminine divine. I'll put the link here too. Okay, bye.